We are here today to make a super cute fall card, and we're here to talk about the Falliday event. So let me just go ahead and get started. So my name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today we're going to be making this card, gratitude card, fall theme. We're going to be using some brand new products on this. And then of course the designer series paper is actually familiar, but I'm excited to use some of this with you. And this is actually, don't let me jinx myself, a fairly simple card. So if you are stopping by live or in the replay, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of the card. Our color theme for today is going to be Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, and Bumblebee. And I actually don't have crumb cake here, but we're going to add just a little bit just to make a slight change to this card, just to do something a little bit different today. We're also going to be using these really pretty brushed metallic adhesive back dots. So these are actually really cool. So these aren't super shiny. They look like little metal knobs actually. And I used this color here, which isn't quite pewter. If you can think of the color, let me know. So we have like the gold and the copper, and then we have this sort of muted brownish tone. So we're going to be working with that color today for this card. And it's pretty subtle, but they're beautiful. You can see them here, here, and here. So we're going to go ahead and get started making this card, and then I'll just talk to you about the event while we are making this. So the sets that we're going to be using are Nuts About Squirrels. This is such a fantastic set. We're also going to be using Sparkle of the Season. So from this one, we're going to be using our Squirrel. It's a 2-step stamp. So we're going to be using these two here. And then we're also going to be using the acorn stamps here. So these two as well. This branch, we're also going to be using here and here. And then we're going to be using our Bumblebee ink for our leaves. And that trio of leaves is actually from Sparkle of the Season, but it fits perfectly on this branch. So we're definitely going to do that today again. I love that look. We're also going to be using this really nice Timber 3D embossing folder. And I know that these don't really do it any justice when you're looking at the picture, but this is a 6x6 embossing folder that makes this beautiful wood pattern, this timber pattern here. And then here on the card, you can see the accent just right here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll recreate that again today. But just really pretty, really simple, but getting into the mindset. I'm in a couple of different fall theme groups, and I'm starting to see all of the signs like only 40 days until we get to September, or 100 days till we get to Halloween. So those numbers, they're starting to get closer and closer. So everything that I just talked to you about, the stamp sets, the 3D embossing folder, these metallic dots, we're going to be using all of this in the Falliday Stamp-A-Stack event. And this is one of the cards that's going to be in the Falliday Stamp-A-Stack. So I am collaborating with Wendy Cranford, and we're going to be doing 10 cards. So you would get 10 card kits, and you'll get PDF tutorials for every card, video instructions, a video tutorial for every card, $40 goodie bag, and let me look at my list just to make sure that I'm telling you. Shipping is included. And then you have the option to add on product if you are interested. So just wanted to let you know that. And I'll be sure that I have a link. You can find out more if you are signed up for my email list. I can send you a link to the event if you're interested, and I'll make sure I have more information on my Facebook page after this live is over. So here is the designer series paper piece we're going to be using today. Hi, Judy. We're going to be using some Early Espresso and Bumblebee cardstock. We're going to be using our basic white, of course, and I'll give you the measurements here too. And we're also going to be doing the basic white card base. Okay, so I already have my card base cut, but it's that standard 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored at 4 1/4. And let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to move some of these things out of my way so we can start doing our stamping and our cutting. So this designer series paper layer today is actually going to be the whole card front. And the reason that I did that is just because this paper is so beautiful. It is just the definition of fall that I wanted to see as much of it as possible. So let's go ahead and we'll add that. Okay. So I am just going to go to 5.5. And then, let's see, 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 5.5. And we end up with this stunning piece of paper here. Hi, Anne. So let me just start to build this out, and let me crease this. Looking for my bone folder. All right, so that's going to cover the whole front here. So for our layers, we're actually going to cut a piece of the bumblebee cardstock with our scalloped contour die. This is the middle size rectangle. Okay, just going to trim this down. So we don't need that whole thing. That'll make it a little bit easier to cut. And then inside our bumblebee scalloped contour square, this rectangle, we're going to do a basic white piece. And that is, I believe it's 2 by 3 1/4. Yep, 2 by 3 1/4. And then this is where we're going to do our stamping. And then we're also going to use a piece of the Early Espresso, and that's the one that we're going to emboss with the timber embossing folder. And that is going to be 1 inch. You could actually make this thicker if you want to show off a little bit more of that embossing folder. But we're going to do 1 inch by 5.5. Okay, and then the last piece will be the Grateful Sentiment piece, and this is just a basic white rectangle here. And I gave myself a little extra room with this because I tuck it behind the scalloped contour, but it probably doesn't have to be this big, just depending on how skilled you are with stamping your sentiments. I don't always get mine perfect. So it's 3.5 by 3/4 of an inch. Sorry about that. All right, and then next, I love these dies. I cannot stop using them. So just in case you don't already use your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it tells you what your sandwiches will be depending on what you're going to use. And we're going to do 1 and 4 for the timber folder. And I'm going to go sideways. I'm going to go horizontal with this piece. It's so nice that this embossing folder goes to 6 inches across. I love that. Just exactly for this type of thing, like if we're working with that standard card size. Okay. So we're going to pop plate 4 right on top of the sandwich and run that through. Let me just make sure I'm all tucked in right here. You can see my folder poking out. Here we go. All right, so here we go. So Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love anything outdoorsy, and you know this is on my mind because I just recently did the outdoor themed paper pumpkin kit. How fabulous would the timber folder be with that? I haven't started alternate yet, but it's still on my list. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's do some stamping. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about this. So this is the Falliday event is my first collaboration, and it's with my upline, meaning the demonstrator that I joined with, and her name is Wendy Cranford, and you guys probably already know who she is. She's pretty big time, but she's so sweet. And when I had the opportunity to do this, she's technically my mentor, really. She's been teaching me everything that I know when it comes to doing all of this. So when I had the opportunity to collaborate with her, I was so excited. So it's just really special to be able to do that. I just think it's really cool. It was like a moment for me. Here, does that look like the same color? Am I telling you guys the wrong color? I wonder if that's soft suede. Let me get my color chart. Hold on. Here it is. Yep, it says that it's early espresso. So you see what I mean? I think I've been using it so much. I'm tempted to re-ink it and do it again. But here's Crumb Cake. So since I'm showing you colors, here is Smoky Slate, Basic Gray. Here is Gray Granite. I actually like that color for Squirrels. Here's Crumb Cake, which I thought looked great. Cinnamon Cider and Early Espresso. I don't even have soft suede on here. That's weird. This says soft suede. Early espresso and soft. I'm going to try it. If you want to hang out with me for a minute, because I don't want to give you the wrong color here, especially when I start doing my instructions and everything. So I'm going to try it one more time. I think it's soft suede. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness I did this live with you. Okay. Yeah. Look. Okay. Well, we're going with it. All right. So and after this is over, I will be re-inking my Early Espresso pad. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to angle our squirrel, just fit right within that frame. I'm going to do the soft suede fill. Look at that. Yeah. All right, and then we're just going to same thing. I'm just going to kind of focus on the feet in that little eye, that it looks like a half oval. Does that not look almost identical? Yeah, I really need to re-ink, but I'm pretty sure that's what that color is. Okay, well, there we go. Soft suede instead of Early Espresso. And let's do one more branch. Same thing, coming down from the side. And now we'll do our little acorn. Yeah, you know, it's all, I see that you say disregard my question, but no, you're right. It's all the same. I did decide to do it all the same color, and I left this one, there's like a fill stamp for the top of the acorn, and I actually just left it basic white. I thought it looked cute that way, but I did want to try it with some color because I don't know like how you guys are as a stamper, but with me, I'm always trying different variations. So whenever I get a chance to make a repeat of a card, I kind of change it up a little bit. That's why the swap was such a challenge for me, because I never make a whole set of identical cards. I'm always changing them. Okay, so that's still soft suede. And then let's do just a little bit of crumb cake for the top of our acorn just to see how it looks. This is, I'm also opening my, I almost said butterscotch, bumblebee. I must be hungry. All right, so here we go. Let's do the top of the acorn. So here's, and it will take a second to dry down, so we'll look at it again, but there's the difference there. It's just really slight. It's cute. And then we'll add our leaves. So the leaf stamp is actually all three connected. And then what I was doing was just trying to like position them around the two branches so that they would hit on the two branches. So this one leaf points up, this one points this way, and the other one points inward. So I'm just going to stamp that so that they kind of look like they're on the branches. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. And then with the bottom, it looks like I have it this way. Isn't that cute? Okay, and then we'll also stamp Grateful. We're going to stick to that bumblebee. Okay. I did it. First try. You should have seen me when I was in the design phase. Oh my gosh, I stamped my sentiments 100 times. I could not. I must have just been off that day. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting this card together. I am going to use a combination of like my multi-purpose glue, and then we are going to use some dimensionals here. So I'm going to put this down with them. Look at the other side. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this paper. The brushed metallic adhesive back dots, and we're going to use these, the brownish color. So you could do a combination of the big and the small. If you want them to stand out a little more, maybe do the big. I did a combination of both, so let me do a small one here and a small one over here. Could probably do more, but we'll stop there. So I hope you guys loved this card project. If you want more information about the Falliday Stamp-A-Stack event, be sure to get signed up on my email list if you aren't already. You can request the information from me if you want to direct message me on Facebook, email me, however you're comfortable reaching out. I'll be happy to send the information to you. I'll have a blog post up shortly with this card and some more information for all of you. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Have a great night.